Hey folks, how are you? It is Sunday, May 11th, 2025, and what is happening in the crypto markets today is pretty much what I was speaking about some hours ago when I told you that assets are moving along nicely with mean reversions. You can see it very clearly, the distributions in mean reversions on very low time frames, and you can see very clearly on the higher time frames as well that the mean reversions are in effect. They are taking place. So what that means at the moment, there's some very nice targets to the downside on Bitcoin, on pretty much on every coin that moved up in the last week significantly and hit a third band to the upside on like a 4-hour candle, is in mean reversion, and the targets are to the downside at the moment, with of course the third band to the upside being above. So in case we have another nice run to the upside before the mean reversion is complete, know that the third band to the upside is a very good place to front run and take profit, because it is not likely to hit it, and even if it does, it's more likely to just snap up and back, like just touch it and pull back, which, by the way, I mention that quite often, and I tell you it's extremely rare, and there was an extremely rare incidence of that happening last week. I think it was on Thursday or Friday, when I think it was the Bonk coin or the Solana coin, one of those, Solana, either it was Solana or the meme coin of it, Bonk. There's many meme coins obviously on Solana. Did that, right? It hit the third band to the upside a number of times. It hit once, skipped the candle, hit another time, skipped the candle, which is fine. It can do that. It can skip a candle. And then it skipped like several candles and then ran up. And because of how much it came real close to it, didn't hit it, but then pulled back so hard enough that it actually pulled that band down a bit, causing that band to touch the top of the wick of the asset. So the asset didn't actually run up and hit the band where it was, but the asset ran up to a high enough area that when it pulled back, it pulled the band back down effectively, because the bands are obviously very dynamic, so they move in real time. And so by the time the candle was over, effectively the band was touching the top of the wick. So that's a perfect example of why you can take profit before it hits the band, because even like I said, even if it does hit it, it's likely to pull back, which is exactly what happened. And it did pull back and then began going a little bit, kind of sloping off to the upside, and began to pull back a little bit, and then obviously had a nice little move again up yesterday, and today is ranging around, because the CDR is actually pretty wide on that coin today, well over 2% of the asset's width, the asset's value. So that is certainly looking like a ranging day, and so far it has been ranging very nicely. So that's one way to trade that, is to realize that today will probably be remain a ranging day, and that obviously does not mean there cannot be any trending moves. All right, just keeping an eye out here on things that fly by up here in northern Israel. And that's just a prop plane, some private plane probably flying somewhere. Anyway, so you can trade ranging moves today across a lot of different assets that are having a ranging day, and obviously that means that you don't stay in moves too long. All right, once you hit targets, you just take profit and get out, and very likely flip to the other direction. Not necessarily, but very likely, because it's ranging, right? So your caps you're going to be capping upside and downside moves pretty strictly because it's ranging, right? So it probably will just be bouncing back and forth between, the 68.3 Laplace levels or normal distribution levels, or the first buy level on the VRE, the first daily buy level, and the first daily sell level on the VRE, which a lot of coins have been basically doing a lot of that today. And you can see that very clearly on the VRE charts. That's one way to do it. And Sundays, when you have a ranging day on a Sunday, it's actually really great because it sets up, if it stays relatively tight in terms of the returns moving the price action in a fairly tight way, you'll typically have a nice setup for a trending day on the Monday. And what that means is, it could go quite bonkers tomorrow on Monday. Well, even later today when the CMEs open, you could have some nice little action. It could, pull away from the range to some other area and still be a trending day, but you have a nice move further away from the top or the bottom of the range, or it could play well within the range when the CMEs open and some people get back into trading for a little bit. And then tomorrow, when traditional markets return as usual, like when the bulk majority of them return in New York, etc., then if the day is a trending day, you certainly could have some very nice movement tomorrow, especially because I believe tomorrow or this next new week begins the 4th week since the last intersect, maybe the 3rd. I think maybe the 3rd or 4th week since the last intersect, like 3 candles after, or 4 candles after the intersect, which means it could be, the last week where there's a very high probability of another nice move relative to the time frame. And given all the other factors going on with the VEPs and everything else, we definitely could see some significant price action following the returns. So I would not be surprised at all to see Bitcoin and alts do some rather nice moves this week. So keep that in mind. And as we always say, trade safe. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't lose more than you can afford. Don't lose money. Right? Rule number 1: don't lose money. Rule number 2: see rule number 1, as Warren Buffett is famous for saying. And that'll do it for now. Wish you guys all a wonderful day and happy trading in this end of week. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.